आज यहाँ अधिकतर लोग प्रदेश से आए हुए हैं, इसलिए अंग्रेजी में बात करेंगे। आप लोग अधिकतर अंग्रेजी समझते ही हैं। Today we are going to have the puja of Sri Krishna. In Sri Krishna's life, the river Yamuna has played a very great role. Yamuna river is a very deep river and the water has a blue color, which they say Sri Krishna also had. While the river Ganges flows faster and much shallower than this river. Next year maybe we might go to Allahabad, might be able to see the two rivers meet. The whole of Haryana has been a very, very historical, mythological place. You must have known about it, that Pandavas and Kauravas fought in Kurukshetra, and also all this area has been used since long for meditation. Markandeya, whose name you have heard many times, meditated in this area. First he was in Maharashtra, where you have seen the Saptashringi. And after that, he came down here and meditated and wrote his treatise. Everywhere you find a place of a peer. Also they are realized souls who have been respected till today. To begin with, we have to say that this is the area of great spirituality. Because Sri Krishna lived here. And in those days there were no cars, not this transport. So he has vibrated all this land so beautifully. Very fond of playing near the river Yamuna. Of course, his childhood was not spent here. But later on, when he became the king, he used to visit this place many a times. We have to understand his character in a very special way. First we had the incarnation of Sri Rama. The Vishnu, as you know, took the birth of Sri Rama. But Sri Rama forgot his divinity. He was made to forget his divinity. And he lived like an ordinary person, became a king, like Socrates has described, the benevolent king. And he had to also sacrifice his wife. That's very symbolic, no doubt. The other part of North India will be able to see his vibrated areas where he moved. But Maharashtra he went without shoes, walked and walked and walked. Thus, this whole country is really vibrated by great saints and by great incarnations. Sri Krishna's one side was that he was like a child and he he wanted to create an atmosphere of mirth, of joy. Because at the time of Sri Rama, after him, the religion was taken very seriously. And people started doing very serious type of religion. The same incarnation again reappeared. Sri Krishna. And Sri Krishna wanted to show that spirituality is not serious. It's Leela. It's a game that you have to play. And in his lifetime he showed. People don't understand him at all because from Sri Rama's concept they cannot condescend to come down to the sometimes to the level of Sri Krishna, which was I think was much higher. Because he had to show that all this world is just a joke, is Maya. And beyond that is joy. His own style was very interesting. That time they couldn't have such beautiful pandals, they couldn't have so many disciples. So he tried on his own style. And his style was, when he was a child, there were many milkmaids whom they called gopis. They would be taking their bath in the river Yamuna. Not here. He would just break their water pitcher and the water would flow on their back. This Yamuna river was vibrated by Radha. Radha. Ra means energy, Dha means the one who sustains. Radha, Dharayati Sada. Radha. And he didn't know how to tell them about Kundalini. So he used to throw stones, small stones, at those pitchers and the water would flow down their backbone, thus giving them the blessings of the Kundalini. His style was extremely simple, playful, mirthful, and nobody understood why he was doing all these things. Also, when he was a very small child, there were ladies who were taking their baths. So he was trying to raise their Kundalini and he hid their clothes, he vibrated them. So many people don't understand a little child is so innocent. And he was teasing them and tried to show that life is nothing but joy. And he gave them those clothes. Later on, he grew up. Then he became the king of Dwarika. In our country, there are very westernized intellectuals. And they try to say that there were two Sri Krishnas. They want to analyze everything without understanding spirituality. What is the subtle thing behind it? He had 16,000 wives, as they say. They were his powers. See, for men, I am a mother. I can have thousands of children, boys, girls, men, women. Nobody can say anything about my character. But for men it is very difficult. So he got all his powers born as women who were married to some king. Not married, actually he had abducted those women and put them in jail. So he saved them from there, brought them out and married them. Now if you see the accent is on marriage. He married them. These were his 16,000 powers. As you know, he has 16 petals and 1,000 of the Sahasrara 16,000 powers which he married. Then he had 5 wives, for which also people have objection. Only Krishna can do like that. 5 wives are the 5 elements. The essence of them, the causal of them came as his wives and he married them. But he was such a detached soul. There's a lot of stories about detachment. There was one great rishi, meaning a saint, a sage, who had arrived on the other side of the river Yamuna. This was in Dwarika. And there was no Yamuna river, but there was Narmada and Tapi. And they wanted to go and serve the sage. So when they went near the river, they found the river was all flooded. So they went back to Sri Krishna and said, see, we are going to worship the sage and the river is all flooded. So he said, all right, you go and tell the river a truth. By that truth it will go down. What's the truth? That Sri Krishna is a brahmachari, is a celibate person. He had 5 wives. They said, how can we say this? This is the truth. He said, you go and tell. Tell the river. And the river will understand the truth, the power of truth will put down the floods. So they went and they said that Sri Krishna is a brahmachari. And the river went down. And they were surprised. How it can happen? This fellow is our husband. And how can he say that he is a brahmachari? So this, they served the sage, served him well, gave him food, looked after him. And when they came back, they again saw the river was in floods. So they were quite worried how to cross the river now. So then went back to the sage and informed the sage that, see, we have to go back and the river is in speed and we don't know how to cross over. He said, it's very easy. If you want to go, it's very easy. They said, how? How did you come? They said, Krishna told us like this to tell that the river is celibate. That I am celibate. And the river, Narmada is also a celibate river. So the river went down. Alright, then you go and tell the river now that I didn't eat any food, nothing I ate. I'm just fasting. They said this fellow ate like a glutton and telling us a lie like this. And how are we to believe this man? So they went to the river, and to the river they said that this sage didn't eat any food, he is on a fast, and please go down. And the river went down. So they were surprised how this fellow has eaten everything. And despite that, when we told such a big lie, this river has listened to this lie. So they crossed over. The point is, those people who are at that level, even when they eat, they don't eat. Even they are married, they are celibate. It's a state. It's a state in which you are completely detached. Absolutely detached. You don't feel the attachment of the work you are doing or the life you are leading. I cannot say how one should become detached. Of course, with the Kundalini working out and you meditating all that and fixing the Kundalini properly, it will work. You'll be amazed how you will become detached about things and how you can manage things without feeling that you are doing it. How you can work out so many things without feeling even tired. It's a state, and that is the state one has to achieve. Now for that, whether you are at that stage or not, first thing you must notice how many times I use the word I, me. How many times I said, I saw these, I enjoyed these, I this, I that. Or this is my child, this is my house, something like that. When you start using I too much, then you are not detached. Try to introspect. How many times I say, I have got this work to be done, I've got to do this, I must furnish this, I must achieve this is the goal of my life. These are all words of illusion. Once you get detached, it's a state again as I wouldn't say that by standing on your head you will become detached or anything like that. It's a state into which one has to grow. So Sri Krishna's message all his life was complete detachment. Even when he went with Arjuna for a war, he said, I will be just the driver of your chariot. But I will not raise any weapons. I will not fight. I will be just your charioteer. And if you agree to that condition, I will be there. Actually, when Arjuna had a question, how can I kill? These are my relations, these are my gurus, these are my close people, my friends, how can I kill them? And he became very depressed. When he became depressed, Krishna said that do you know they are already dead? Anything that is born has to die. So, you have to kill them. Now people can say that Krishna was preaching violence. No, not that. But what he said at those people who are adharmis, who have no sense of dharma, who have been so cruel, who have been very much against the tradition of dharma, they have to be killed. Whether you kill them or not, they are already dead because they have committed so many sins. They are already dead. So you should not think that you are killing. But it's the divine which is going to kill them, so-called killing. And so the war started. In the Gita also people have very less understanding as to what he wanted to communicate. The first thing, the war is on and he's talking about philosophy. You can imagine the detachment of course. The first thing he told him that you should take to jnana. Jnana means both. Both, as you know, is only possible through enlightenment. So he said you should take to jnana, to both, which is enlightenment. But people don't understand jnana. They think that by reading books, by reading all kinds of, there are so many criticisms of Gita, reading all that, or understanding about Gita. There are many in this country who are giving lectures on Sri Krishna. In their own lives they are horrible. So, he told the best thing that is to be done. That is the only thing to be done. He was not a businessman. A businessman will tell you first something that is not so good, then better, raising you slowly. But he said outright, That is the one by which you become Sthitapragya, means Sahajogi. He said clearly. But Arjuna said then, if it is so, why do you want me to go on war, to do this karma? That is also very much misunderstood. Only after realization you can understand what he meant by doing karma. He said it very clear that you do your work, karmas, your whatever you have to do, your action, and put it at my lotus feet, which is an impossible situation. As long as you have the sense that you are doing something, ahambhava, that due to ego you might call it, as long as you have this feeling within you, or maybe when there is still that I is existing within you, you may say that I am putting it at the lotus feet of God, but you don't. Because Sri Krishna knew, after Arjuna asked the question, that human nature is not straightforward, they won't understand in a straightforward way. So he was diplomatically, he told them, alright, put everything at my feet, which you cannot do. So people tried that. Ages they have tried and they found out it doesn't work out that way. Whatever we do, we feel responsible for it. So why should we think that we are putting at the lotus feet of Sri Krishna? For example, some people who were murderers, they would say, alright, we have murdered, alright, but we have put it at the lotus feet of God. This kind of a delusion happened. I mean, there were horrible people in this country who used to kill travelers in the name of goddess. All these misunderstandings, we suited them, they started doing it. So he said that your karma should be at my lotus feet. It's only possible after your realization. When you really feel you are not doing anything, we ask a Sahajogi to give realization to somebody. He tells me, it's not going, it's not working, he talks like a third person. He becomes a third person. He never thinks that he is doing it. He is raising the Kundalini himself with his own hand. He doesn't say, I am doing it. Or he'll just say, doesn't work out for you. Doesn't work. What's the matter? He would just say, this chakra is there, this problem is there. But he would never say that I am doing it. So this karma, this action becomes akarma, means non-action. Though you are acting, doing everything, still you don't feel you are doing it. That's why he said normally people would not take to self-realization. So better to give them this condition that whatever you do, you put at the lotus feet of God. Then he asked about bhakti. So for bhakti, he said, alright, very clever, I am not that clever as he was. I am telling you everything straightforward. Because he knew human beings are too clever. And if they have to be convinced, they cannot be convinced just by telling them straightforward things. So he says, alright, whatever flower, water, fruit, you give it to me, I accept. That's the bhakti part. But this is now the trick. The bhakti is to be done when there is not the other. Ananya. Ananya means there is nobody else. you and me. That means you should be connected to me. Then only you can do bhakti. But nobody understand the meaning of word Ananya, or they don't want to understand. Ananya means where there is not the other. Means you are self-realized. That's the bhakti I will accept. When I get these Hare Rama people suffering from all kinds of troubles and they say, Mother, how is it we are suffering from Sri Krishna's troubles? So I tell them, you have no connection with Sri Krishna. You are not connected. Supposing this is not connected, this won't work. And there is a protocol. Sri Krishna is an incarnation. Even if you have to meet the chief minister here and you go on calling his name, you will be arrested. But he is almighty. How can you take his name so cheaply as if he belongs to you or he is in your pocket? So there is a protocol. But they were told that you must take the name of Sri Krishna or of Sri Ram or the name of God. You speak to God, that you should not forget God. That's the reason. But it's not the way. Like mad, people are going on with it. That's how the Kundalini gets spoiled. I have seen they have Vishuddhi problems and they never feel in their hands anything. They'll go on telling me, well, we don't feel this, that. They are Sri Krishna Bhaktas. So their bhakti is also wrong. But Sri Krishna, whatever is told, you have to understand it written in small lines. What he is trying to say. His mischiefs, his childlike pranks he used to play, all were so sweet and beautiful. To create a feeling for the innocence, respect. I mean, in Indian, if he sees a child, he develops a kind of a feeling which is called Vatsalya. The feeling of great love and affection and protection for children. But in the West, I am surprised the way they are under attack. Children are so much under attack. I don't know why are they doing it. There is no feeling of Vatsalya at all. It's something so cruel. I don't know if they are possessed or there's kind of a influence of their previous lives or whatever it is. It's very common with them. The way they attack innocence, small children. It's impossible to understand. How can human beings do that? So, Sri Krishna's childlike behavior, so beautiful that makes you feel that love and affection, protection for the little child. Sri Krishna had a sister, as you know, Vishnu-Maya. And she is the electricity. We have seen in Kapila, in Canada, the miracles of Vishnu-Maya. When I went to Canada, it was said by the Aboriginal people that when the Holy Mother will come, the whole sky will become red with lightning. And the lightning started. Next day, even before it was daytime, I saw the sky red like this, completely red. So many people saw. But there were 16,000 lightnings, 16,000 lightnings in the newspaper up here. It was going on dum, 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 dum the whole night. Then I said, now I'll go and sit in the bathroom so it will stop. And then it stopped. Otherwise going on like that. How he was connected with the Pandavas. Draupadi was also his sister. So Vishnu-Maya was born as Draupadi. Also his mother was there, Yashoda. And when Radhaji was the Mahalakshmi, Mother Mary, and she gave birth to Sri Ganesha, that was Lord Jesus Christ. In India, nobody would doubt the Immaculate Conception. Nobody would doubt. But for others, it is too much to believe in the Immaculate Conception, or they are all arguing and saying all kinds of nonsensical things. Because Ganesha was created like that, and also Christ could be created like that. इसकी कोई जरूरत नहीं है क्या? So Radha, she was Mother Mary. And it is surprising if you read the Devi Mahatmya, in that it's clearly written who was Christ, that he was the support. He was called as Mahavishnu. He was the support. That's the Muladhara. He was the support of the universe. All these were all related people. But we are stupidly fighting because we do not have the knowledge of reality. So, Radhaji wanted to give him the name Yashoda. So he called him Yesu. In Hebrew it is Yesu. Also in India, Yashoda is called Jesu Jasoda. Many people call it Jesu. That's how he became Jesus. You can verify what I am saying on your vibrations. So they are all related to each other. And greatest thing is they are divine people. We cannot understand them, we cannot analyze them, we cannot pass remarks about them. It is a sign of human arrogance. Because his knowledge is so limited, and with that limited knowledge he wants to talk about divinity which is beyond the brains, beyond human intelligence. So only thing we can do is to be humble and to be surrendered. That's how Islam came, which means surrender. Where are they surrendering? God knows. Or Christians, where are they following Christ? Hindus, where are they following the principle that everybody has the spirit in their heart? How can you have caste if everybody has the spirit? Now, thank God, so many people in the whole world have become Sahajogis. We have transcended all these artificial barriers in our divine life. How can divine divide people? Some higher, some lower, cannot be. Only thing is you have to achieve that state in which you see the whole world as a drama, as Sri Krishna has said, and you are the witness, the sakshi of all that. I had to tell all the story about Sri Krishna because this river Yamuna reminds me of all those beautiful things he did. And also I was happy yesterday the way you are dancing, the way you are enjoying, which is very, very significant. And the ones who did this before were not saints, they were ordinary people whom Sri Krishna wanted to hold hands, called Ras. Ra means energy, Sa means with. They all were holding hands. So with the energy of Radhaji, everybody was getting enlightened. All these things, as in all religions, have lost their own meaning, have lost their own form, and they have become very corrupt. It's because it's a mental attitude. If you have a mental attitude, it has its own limitations, and after some time there's always a decline of all these mental adventurous attitude. because there's no strength of truth in it. That's how you find decline in arts, in music, in everything. There's a decline coming. But now you people have found the truth, so please try and understand that the truth is the one which is eternal. And the truth is love. Truth is divine love. And this divine love has no consequences. It doesn't claim anything, doesn't want anything, just wants to love. And when you see this all-pervading power, being kind, everybody here has had some sort of a miracle. And most of them have told me so many miracles that, Mother, this happened, that happened, that happened. It's all done by this all-pervading power of divine love. And also to convince you, it is doing so many things interesting of showing different types of my photographs, is that. But the best was this time in Navratri. In my photograph, I saw a background which was rather very different. Like something round was there and there was a curtain and somebody peeping through that, like the sun peeping. But when I went to Moscow, I was surprised. The whole scene was behind me there. So it was before it was even made or conceived. It was seen there in Navratri Puja. That means all these things also that you are conceiving are suggested by the divine. Otherwise, how can it be possible that 1 month before we got that kind of a photograph, which I was wondering, how can that be behind me? And that was there when we went to Moscow, everybody saw this. It's very surprising. So all kinds of tricks he's playing. Even when I'm not there, he shows I'm there. And it's working out in so many ways that one has to understand that what we think is miracle is a play of this all-pervading power. I hope you have enjoyed your stay here, and we have still a big tour to go on. I hope more people are coming now, so you are all comfortable here. After realization, actually I have seen people don't care for physical comforts. They just care for the comforts of the spirit. People are very deep, and you have met the people of India. They are also very deep people, very good, humble people. We are all part and parcel of one body. And that's what one has to remember. I hope you are all right, all of you. And tomorrow, you don't know, it's a very, very cold place, they say. Let's see. As the sun has come here, maybe the same sun will help us there. May God bless you.